y'all? Welcome to my review, finally, for The Boy and the Heron. Yes, I finally watched the fucking movie. Y'all know I've been slowly making my way through the 2023 movies list. I'm almost done, literally right now. Hold on while I pull this up on my Letterboxd account. I think I got like 4 left now, 3 or 4 movies. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Mario. About 3 more, well, 4 more, because I don't have it on this list, but Speak to Me, the one from the Rocka Rocka guy, that was like their debut, directorial debut, feature film anyway, as well. That's on Paramount Plus, and I need to watch that one. I don't know if I'll do a review for that movie. I might, but I'm not entirely sure. The Mario movie will get a movie review for you guys, and that'll probably be the last one, depending if I end up doing Speak to Me. That one might get a movie review as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm almost done. Got 4 more movies left. Hopefully I can get them done within the week if I have the chance to, man. But yeah, anyway, guys, obviously the film is fucking crap. As you guys may know, Hayao Miyazaki came out of retirement to make this film. You guys may know that Ghibli's previous film that was done by Hayao Miyazaki's son was panned by everyone. It was Studio Ghibli's like first CG movie. Nobody liked it. It was panned up. That people thought the animation was lifeless with the CGI and everything, man. And after that movie comes out, Hayao Miyazaki comes out of retirement. He's like, fine, I'll do it my fucking self. He's like, you have dishonored our name, boy. I will fix your shit. That was probably Hayao Miyazaki. He's like, I will not let you desecrate my name. I haven't watched the movie, obviously, myself yet. I do want to watch it. It's on HBO Max like the rest of Ghibli's catalog is. But, yeah, I do want to watch the movie, man, whenever I get the chance to, man. But, like, a lot of Ghibli's films, I don't know when I'll get to the rest of it. Like the rest of Ghibli's film. But anyway, man, the film itself, man, was fucking phenomenal, man. As to surprise no one, it's Hayao Miyazaki. He's one of the greatest filmmakers of our time, man. One of the greatest anime directors of our time, man. I mean, what the fuck else were you expecting me to say about this film? Now, to be fair, if you guys do know me, if you guys haven't, because I don't know if I've tweeted about this, but I probably have mentioned this once or twice, or if not, you guys can see it, obviously, when you check my rank on my Letterboxd of the Ghibli films I have seen already, that I'm not really that big on a lot of his movies, to be fair, like, as much as a lot of people are. Like, a lot of people love Studio Ghibli, they grew up with Studio Ghibli, and these movies hold a special place in a lot of people's hearts. That really isn't the case for me, probably because I didn't really grow up with a lot of these movies, and when I did, I wasn't even that big on them when I was a kid either. Like, I know as a kid I saw My Neighbor Totoro and Ponyo, and even as a kid, I wasn't really that big on either of those movies. Even when I went back and rewatched My Neighbor Totoro, like, years and years later, I still wasn't sure. But it's a good movie, don't get me wrong, it's a great movie, but, like, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Nothing happens. Nothing happens in that fucking movie, man. Literally nothing happens. But, it's still a great movie for what it is, man. And, Ponyo's pretty good. I saw Kiki's Delivery Service, which is another movie I enjoy, but I'm not super high on, man. But obviously, as you guys know, I love Princess Mononoke. That's one of my all-time favorite films, and Spirited Away as well. Marlene was there, which he didn't direct, though. Someone else from Ghibli directed that one. It's another Ghibli film that I absolutely fucking adore. Anyway, man. So, and I believe that, and you guys remember this movie was originally going to be called, I believe it was called Where They Live is in... I believe is when this movie was originally going to be called, which is actually in the movie itself, in like one of Mahito's mom's books. I think it's actually called Where They Lived or When They Lived. Which I believe was the original title before it was changed to The Boy and the Heron. And you guys know this. I believe this actually did take the Oscar for Best Animated Film, being the second anime film to take that award. No surprise that both of them were Ghibli movies. Of course, the other one being Spirited Away, being the first one, man. And there was a whole thing behind me that didn't show up for the award because of like what was going on in Iraq, if I remember correctly. Which, not gonna lie, man, kind of a baller move. Not gonna lie. Hayao Miyazaki, man, is one of is just an absolute legend, Dad. He's a Giga Chad of an anime director, man. Because if you guys may remember or know the story, well, it didn't happen specifically with Hayao Miyazaki, but it did happen. You guys may remember there was a story going around for Princess Mononoke because that Hayao Miyazaki had been burned by some of his previous films getting dubbed in America, them like censoring it or whatnot, and he literally said. Whatever the dude's name is, Weinstein, the producer guy, a katana, mailed him a katana that said, "No cuts on it." Which, bro, man, that is absolutely a baller move. Now, Hayao Miyazaki has since confirmed that, well, yes, there was a katana sent to his house. He himself specifically did not send it with someone else from Ghibli that sent the katana. But still, man, that's still fucking gangster, man. But yeah, anyway, enough me glazing Hayao Miyazaki for being an absolute baller. Anyway, back to the movie itself, man. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I love the movie, man. The art and animation, of course, is incredible. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if half the movie is on Sakagaburo, because there's a lot of really well animated, which we'll talk about obviously in the review itself when we get there, man. And yeah, I've rambled on long enough, so let's get it right. So the movie is, of course, directed by, as I mentioned, you guys may know before, the legendary Hayao Miyazaki, which I believe he's also confirmed that he's already begun working on his next movie. So the man isn't going back into retirement. I think this is like the third time he's went into retirement and came out. I think it's either the second or third time he's like come out of retirement. But you'll never hear me complain whenever there's a new Hayao Miyazaki movie coming out there, and you'll know I'll always be there to watch it. So I think it looks like he's not doing. So this isn't a one and done. He's back for at least one more movie. But anyway, stars and stars. As obviously I'll be bringing up the dubcast, man. Luca Padovin, if I'm pronouncing his name right, man, who looks to seem to be like a legit kid, who was actually also in the Code Geass animes, with the new one that came. That was also dubbed by NYAV. Robert Pattinson, Dave Bautista, Christian Bale, Willem Dafoe, Mark Ruffalo, and many more. And the plot of The Boy and the Heron is Mahito, a young 12-year-old boy, struggles to settle in a new town after his mother's death. However, when a talking heron informs Mahito that his mother is still alive, he enters an abandoned tower in search for her, which takes him to another world. Now, the English cast is fantastic. Ghibli, as you guys know, has always been known for having phenomenal English dubs, because before you guys know, Disney handled a lot, if not all of their English dubs, at least for the older. So I think once they went later on, I think Universal started taking over and whatnot, man. But like for a lot of these OG classic Ghibli movies, they were handled by Disney and often got actual actors in their live action of the dubbing, where they actually showed up to work and actually gave good performances, other than a lot of time where they kind of phoned it. And that continues on for this movie, man, which is handled by NYAV. If you guys follow Stephanie Shea on Twitter, she was pushing the movie a lot, as you guys may know. She was the assistant voice director for this film, man. She was, I believe, the casting director as well for this film, as well as the adaptive scriptwriter for this film as well, man. So Stephanie Shea, man, if you can say, yeah. But it's kind of interesting considering that Stephanie Shea has gone more into like a more behind-the-scenes directorial role nowadays at NYAV. I don't know if she actually lives in New York or if she still lives in LA. I'm not entirely sure. I would assume she lives in New York now. Probably, considering, she does all of her work she's been doing a lot, basically all of her work that isn't doing the occasional reprisal role for something for an LA dub, has been working at NYAV on various dubs. Like they did this one. She also did you guys may remember, she also directed the dub for Shogun as well, which was actually fantastic, I must say. I watched the show dub just because she said she directed. I was like, I will support you, 70. I will watch this show dub. And the dub was very good, I must say. The English dub for Shogun was very good, man, for a live action dub. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know if she's living in New York now or not, but that she did like, which is interesting, as I was saying, before I got sidetracked. If you guys did not know, Stephanie Shea, before she became an actual voice actress, she started off as a time coder for a fan subbing group. So I guess what goes around comes around. We've gone full circle here, man. And Stephanie, man, I love Stephanie, man. You guys know I'm a big fan of her work, obviously voicing. You guys know, I think I mentioned before previously that I call her the voice of Best Girls, because obviously you guys know she voices Orihime and Hinata, two of the most iconic anime girls of the 2000s for my generation. But anyway, there was a panel that she did that dress drop from Anime Cover to Isaac Anime. They upload their panels to YouTube, where it was a Bleach panel with her, JYB, Annie Yako, and someone else, and one of the other newer cast members as well, where someone asked her what got you into dubbing, why'd you start voice acting and whatnot, and Stephanie's response was hilarious, man, because, and like I said, she is so real, because she wanted to be an actor, and she watched anime, and at the time, she thought dubs were shit, and she thought because dubs were so shit, the bar of entry was lower, thereby she could get in the acting door through dubbing. I was laughing my ass off when she said that. I'm like, it's Stephanie, that is so real of you. Like JYB said, he was watching episodes of Bleach off YouTube in the 4 parts thing back in the day, man. Shout out to any OG YouTube watchers that are watching anime off YouTube when it was split up into 4 parts, because YouTube had a limit where videos could only be 10 minutes long, I think at the time it was, or might have been a little bit shorter before that. But I remember there was a time where YouTube videos couldn't be longer than 5 for 10 minutes or something. That was they had a hard limit on that back in the day. But anyway. But yeah, man. So there's your little history lesson about Stephanie Sheh and how and her career in anime coming full circle. Anyway, so the cast, man, is great, man. Robert Pattinson is probably the highlight here, man. The dude is a vocal chameleon. Like, I am honestly shocked that he hasn't done more voiceover. I'm checking his behind the voiceover right now. This is literally its only voiceover credit. At least I'm behind the voice. I don't know how this dude had, especially during the time when he, like, after Twilight, when he was doing more artsy films and whatnot. I'm shocked he didn't, like, do some video games here and there, some anime dubs, like, here and there, man, during that time period, like, between after Twilight, but before he got, you know, before he was back into the public eye with the Batman, and, you know, his career skyrocketed from there. I'm shocked he doesn't do more voice, because he has a natural, because this man is a vocal chameleon. He is completely unrecognizable in the Gray Heron. And that's continuing, if you guys know the new movie he's in, Mickey 17 from Bong Joon-ho, the director of Parasite, which also looks great, man. I probably won't be able to catch that in theaters. I'll wait till it comes on screen. I'll probably watch it. Where, you know, he has some different. He's using a different voice for that movie. And if I remember correctly, the story behind the voice he's using for that movie, man, is that he wanted to sound like Steve-O from Jackass. And I think he's a damn good voice match for Steve-O, man, because he sounds just like him. He sounds nothing like what you expect Robert Pattinson to sound, man. So seriously, like, bro, do some more voiceover. You clearly have a talent for it, bro. Like, get, like, someone like Stephanie, I don't know, anyone. Give this man, like, some more anime dubs or something, man. Because clearly he has a talent for voiceover. But anyway, he was probably the highlight of the cast, man. He was fucking brilliant. Like I said, he is completely unrecognizable in the role, man. And he is incredible. Christian Bale is great, man. You guys know he did some. He voiced in a previous Studio Ghibli film as well. I forget which one it was, but the character he plays Mahito's dad in this one, and I feel that they casted him as Mahito's dad on purpose because there is a scene in the movie where after Mahito, where we found out how Mahito got the scar, which is all over the posters and everything, man. He says, "I will find vengeance for you, son." When he mentioned vengeance, I just bursted out laughing. And I was like, yo, is that Christian Bale? Because the guy sounded like, I checked and it was Christian Bale. And I just burst out laughing like, bro, there's no way they didn't cast him as this character on purpose because of vengeance. Of course, you know, Batman. But yeah. Dave Bautista's great, man. Mark Hamill's, of course, brilliant like he always is, man. Florence Pugh is in the movie as well. She's fantastic. Not Mark Ruffalo. Willem Dafoe is fantastic. Just the dub cast in general, man, is absolutely fantastic. Now, let's get into obviously what is the biggest pro of this movie, man. The art animation. If there's one thing Ghibli has always been known for, it is their art animation, well, that and their food. Which, I will say, when it comes to Ghibli food, the food in this movie didn't look as good as a lot of other previous Ghibli films, man. It looked pretty good, but definitely not as good as we've seen in previous Ghibli films. But the art animation in the movie is fucking incredible. There are so many amazing cuts of animation. The backgrounds are great as well. The highlight of the movie is probably honestly the opening like 10 minutes where we see, I'm assuming this is like one of the fire bombings during World War II, where we saw some trailer where we got like this smearing effect going on there, man. It's like Mahito's running through the crowd, man. They looked absolutely spectacular, man. The fire effects looked amazing. I don't know who the effects animator was for this movie, man, but shout outs to them, man. They did an absolutely incredible job with the fire in the film, man. This movie is just beautiful to look at, man. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if half the movie's already been uploaded to Sakagaburo because there are so many sequences in this movie that just look absolutely spectacular. Like when the Heron is like charging towards Mahito, man, he kind of like spins around there, man, and it kind of like lands into the water, but his feet keep moving and he kind of keeps his momentum in a walk. Just like there are so many great sequences, man. You have sequences where like there's a bunch of like birds coming at him and like they're all hand drawn. There isn't a single CG bird in there, which I was like, what the fuck? Or like one where Mahito gets covered in frogs and they're all hand drawn. I'm like, what? No CGI frogs? Because you guys know, whenever there's like multiple things of one character in the anime, usually it's always something with CGI. They use the CGI just to save time. But obviously this is Ghibli, I guess they have probably have unlimited resources at this point because they're Ghibli. So it's all hand drawn, man, and it looks incredible too. Like all previous Ghibli movies, the film looks fucking incredible, man. Which I'm sure is not a surprise to anybody. The music, the score in the film is really fucking good, man. I really dug the song they also played during the end credits, man. I really like that song. But the score itself was also very, very good. I love the alternate world we go in, the spirit world, whatever you want to call it. the secondary world that we see in the movie, man, it looks amazing, man. I love the world building that Hayao Miyazaki does for it, man. I love the look of it, man. I think it's really fucking cool. And there's some, like I said, some more cool cuts of animation in there as well. I have to say the Great Heron is probably one of my, if not my favorite Ghibli villain, if you want to call him a villain, at least in the first half of the film, man. Not to get too deep into spoilers about him, because they didn't really show much of him in the trailers, but yeah, Robert, and it's a lot of it is done because of Robert Pattinson's performance, man. He is just absolutely just having a blast with this guy, man. He is so cartoonishly evil, man. You just can't help but love him, man. He's fucking awesome. Like I said, probably my favorite Ghibli villain, honestly, man. He was so entertaining to watch. And one last thing I gotta say before we get into like the negative parts of my problems with the film is like, what is with Hayao Miyazaki and grandmas? Like, this dude, every time he animates, we ever see like old women in Ghibli films, they always look kind of creepy. A lot of the time, they look kind of creepy. I don't know what is man's beef with old women. Like, does man just hate his grandma or something? Did he have some traumatizing memory of older women when he was a kid and he just that stuck with them when he designs them? Because I've noticed that with a lot of his movies, every time we see like an old woman there, she always looks kind of creepy most of the time. I don't know why that is, but that's just something I've noticed with Ghibli films. But now, in terms of probably the movie, is that this one, I don't know if you would consider, you know, it's Ghibli and they've never really tried to do this most of the time with a lot of their films, is that the characters are really nothing to write home about. There's really nothing to them most of the time. They don't really go through much of an arc, or we learn much about them. We know like the basic stuff of what basically is driving them, but like that's about it. Which is the thing with a lot of Ghibli, which is probably why I'm not as big into Ghibli as a lot of other people are, because obviously a lot of people grew up with these films and all that, man. When, like, Kiki's Delivery Service, man, nothing really to that movie. My Neighbor Totoro, not really much to that movie. You know, Castle in the Sky, there's a bit more to it, man. Ponyo, really nothing much to that movie. Then there's obviously ones where they get a little bit more deeper in characterization, like Princess Mononoke is probably the biggest one, where they actually like try to like give you characters that go through an arc and everything. There's probably others as well. Like I said, I haven't watched their entire filmography, so there's probably maybe a couple more that I'm missing out with. When Marlene was there, I remember had a bit more to their characters in that film, and I remember that was like one thing I really loved with that movie. At least if I remember correctly, I might be completely off base with that one because I haven't watched that movie in years. But yeah, the characters really nothing to write home about, and like there's this one thing with this kid that doesn't really make any sense with Mahito, where he comes to the school in this new area once he's finally moved there to go to live with his stepmom for a bit with his dad. He gets there, man. Dude is instantly the most hated man in that fucking school. Nobody likes this kid when he introduces him. Everyone is giving him the side eye, and especially the guy sitting next to him, man. He is stink-eyeing him hard. I'm like, bro, you don't even know this kid. What is your beef? Then we see him getting in a fist fight with some of his other classmates. While he's like, I think he's like on his way home. He gets beat up. They have a little fist fight going on there, man. We see him like covered up in like bruises and everything, man. He has like some like bruising in there, man, showing off the battle he's in. And then for some reason, he picks up a rock and hits him in the head with it, man. That's what gives him the scar. I don't know if you want to count that as a spoiler. Literally, that's what he gets him the scar, is he hits his head, he hits himself with a rock. He hits a rock against his head, man. And look, it bleeds a lot, too. I'm like you guys know me, I'm a gore fiend. I love me some gore, but I was watching like, bro, there is no reason from that, because it's not like he like hit himself with the rock and then like scraped it against his head to like really make sure it was a deep cut. He literally just hits it on it. He literally just hits his head again. He literally hits the rock against his head, and that's and the dude's bleeding like he got stabbed. Like, and I was like, and it's not, and like later on in the movie, and it's like never explained why he does this, except, well, we get like a kind of an explanation, or at least they mention it later on in the film, where he says, "This is my malice." But he never tries, he never actually tried to like frame the kids that beat him before with this, man. Like his dad's asking him, he's like, "I will get vengeance for you, son. Who hurt you?" You know, he's like, "No, I just fell." And I'm like, I don't really, now maybe there's a deeper meaning behind this whole malice thing that I'm just too stupid to real and I'm just too stupid to grasp or something, man. But like, this made no sense to me. Like, why is the kid just randomly just picks up a rock and hits him in the head with it, causing himself to bleed profusely out of it, man? And then like goes on about, "This is my malice," but he doesn't actually try to use it to like frame the kids. Like, it makes no goddamn sense to me. Like I said, there's probably something deeper to it that I'm just too stupid to grasp or realize, man. But that's really my only problem with the movie, man. And like I said, now just something that's not even an issue, because that's just kind of Ghibli's thing, man. They've never really been known or really ever marketed themselves as like giving you these deep fucking character driven stories, man, or whatever, man. That's never been their thing. They've always been more about like the films being like experiences, man, and like, you know, capturing people's imagination, all that jazz, man. They haven't really been trying to tell like really truly gripping character dramas or whatever. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, man, I've rambled on long enough about this film, man. It's fucking incredible, man. If you haven't already watched it. It's on HBO Max. The dub is fantastic, man. And yeah, overall it gives me a 9.5 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You liked what you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me social if you feel like it. Links elsewhere spots below. And as always, come out for more. See you guys next time.